was 5 and he was 6. We rode on horses made of sticks. He wore black and I wore white. He would always win the fight. Bang, bang, he shot me down. Bang, bang, I hit the ground. Bang, bang, that awful sound. Bang, bang, my baby shot me down.
This is my third video this week of police officers being criminals. I'm at a loss for words, actually. This time, it's the Rcmp. I'll let the video speak for itself. I really don't know what to say anymore about this type of behavior. It just keeps getting worse and worse as each day progresses. God help us all.
Rcmp has removed one of its officers from the front lines after he was caught on video threatening a man under arrest. The officer working in a First Nations community where people say they've been feeling uneasy about his aggressive behavior of late. Let's go into Megan Roberts here with me in studio with the details and the video. Megan?
Part of the reason that people were feeling uneasy, Heather, is because there were actually 3 separate incidents on that day where that same officer pulled his gun. 2 of them were caught on video, and we do have one to share with you. Take a look.
I'm gonna kill you. Hey. Shut the up. You're under arrest because you're trying to go home.
So this is happening in Pelican Narrows, Saskatchewan, this video being shared widely throughout the weekend. We don't know a lot about the lead up to this video. We know the officers were there on a weapons call. There was a machete that Rcmp confirmed was taken from the scene. And what you could hear there is that one officer swearing and threatening at the man they are placing in handcuffs there. And that's where the criticism comes from, because community members say that at this point, the situation
Bernie Herman has been with the Saskatchewan Rcmp for 32 years, but now he is the one behind bars. While the circumstances of this case remain largely unclear, the Prince Albert Police Service alleges the officer killed a 26-year-old man. Prince Albert Police have identified the victim as 26-year-old Braden Herman. Police say the 52-year-old Rcmp corporal and the victim knew each other, but are not related.
Gillies of the Eskasoni First Nation was allegedly struck in the face last June by an Rcmp officer in Richmond Corner, New Brunswick. The incident resulted in 5 broken bones in her face and multiple broken teeth. CERT investigates incidents involving actions of police officers and determines if charges should be laid. As a result of this investigation, CERT found probable grounds that Corporal Andrew Whiteway committed a criminal offense. On Monday, Corporal Whiteway was charged with aggravated assault and has to appear before the New Brunswick Provincial Court on October 2nd.
Former Richmond Rcmp officer Andrew Ciangio, who was found guilty of exposing himself to Vancouver private schoolgirls, is back in a North Vancouver courtroom facing 3 new charges. He's accused of impersonating an officer back in July 2022 while along North Vancouver's Spirit Trail after a cyclist rode by him. He faces an assault charge stemming from an incident in August 2022 outside a downtown Vancouver nightclub. The 3rd charge, forged document with intent to commit an offense. Police say they seized a forged Rcmp ID card back in October 2022. Now, these offenses are alleged to have taken place while he was out on bail on the Indecent Act charges. He was found guilty of driving up to students at York House and Little Flower Academy back in 2018 and 2019, exposing himself and at times masturbating. He was off duty during those incidents.
The officer stationed in St. Paul, northeast of Edmonton, is facing child sexual exploitation charges.
It comes after a months-long investigation into the 33-year-old Mountie.
Let's bring in our Nicole DiDonato live in a newsroom to explain what sparked this investigation. Nicole.
Well, Alert's Internet Child Exploitation Unit began investigating back in November after someone posted 2 videos to Snapchat showing child sexual exploitation. Late this month, investigators traced those videos back to 33-year-old Rcmp Constable Evan Peacock. He was arrested yesterday at his home in St. Paul. The 3-year Rcmp member has been charged with 2 counts of possessing, distributing, and accessing child pornography.
An Rcmp officer who faces multiple criminal charges is back on duty. Kevin Biagioni is awaiting trial on charges related to shooting a suspect and was later disciplined for an alleged road rage incident. CTV News has learned not only is he back on the job, but he's also been promoted. Ben Nesbitt has the story.
After repeated inquiries from CTV News over the course of a week, the Rcmp finally confirmed that Kevin Biagioni is back on active duty.
I have never seen anything that is disturbing as this.
Biagioni is facing charges of aggravated assault, careless use of a firearm, and discharging a firearm with intent, stemming from a shooting during an arrest near the Veta River in 2021.
Trafficking, animal cruelty, forgery, and more. These are the charges laid against a 44-year-old Mountie after a victim came forward to police about something going on in Georgina. An Rcmp statement calls this serious and difficult to comprehend. Constable Maniva Armstrong from York Regional Police echoes that sentiment.
It also is very, alarming to think that a member of a police organization is involved in such a horrendous investigation and crime.
Rcmp Constable Israel Yashif Mani Monter is accused of luring a victim up from Mexico with a promise of a good job. But that man found himself working at Monter's residence about an hour's north of Toronto in deplorable living conditions, working with animals so badly treated. York Regional Police say they had to call in provincial animal welfare office.
It was 2 witness videos that first raised public questions about whether or not a police officer used excessive force during this May 2020 arrest in downtown Kelowna. Thursday, the videos were shown in court as the trial of Constable Siggy Peterzak resumed. Peterzak is accused of 1 count of assault on Tyler Russell, who officers were trying to arrest on suspicion of impaired driving. After watching the videos in court, a senior Rcmp officer brought in by the Crown as an expert witness testified he believed Constable Peterzak's use of force in the videos wasn't consistent with Rcmp training and policy. A key factor for Staff Sergeant Leonard Makoshin was the number of blows. Makoshin explained
a photo taken a few months before I was assaulted.
Jennifer Johnner doesn't have many photos of herself smiling as a teenager. When she was 14, she was assaulted.
He made sexual advances, which I did not want. He punched me in the mouth, causing severe dental damage.
The Johnner says the Mountie who responded back in 2001 was impatient, left her in the ER alone, and never investigated. Eventually, Johnner's smile returned, but emotionally, she's still wounded.
Having the person that you think will help you dismiss me was something that I carried to this day.
As an adult, she decided to push back by filing an official complaint. Recently, she received this letter.
On behalf of the Rcmp, I wish to convey to you my regret over this oversight.
More than 20 years later, an apology for failing to properly investigate.
Osama Ibrahim was convicted of assaulting a 16-year-old girl and breach of trust while he was a constable with the Rcmp. The conviction also included choking during an assault and carrying, using, or threatening to use a weapon during an assault. Ibrahim was apologetic in court, saying he feels like he's lost everything. His lawyer, TJ Burke, says Ibrahim resigned from the Rcmp last week, affected.
Still in British Columbia, CBC News has obtained closed-circuit video of an incident inside an Rcmp jail cell. As you'll see, it may be a key piece of evidence in a lawsuit brought by a man who was under arrest there against those he says caused him to leave with permanent brain damage. The CBC's Eric Rankin explains.
Oh, and there's the day you checked out of the hospital.
50-year-old Robert Wright has lost a lifetime of memories of logging, fishing, and gathering First Nations medicines, even forgetting he's married. His wife now is full-time caregiver because of brain damage caused, they believe, by a jailhouse takedown.
Did you really marry me?
It gets hurtful. I used to get out the marriage certificate. Now it's like I'm too tired.
Well, it makes me feel like sad because it's like I should remember all that stuff.
This is something else he doesn't remember. His arrest 2.5 years ago for drunk driving. Jailhouse video just obtained by the CBC. Wright, earlier combative, but now compliant. Suddenly thrown to the floor by Constable Brian Heidemann.
What did I say about keeping your feet crossed?
Wright's head may have hit the concrete bench. He's dragged unconscious, leaving a trail of blood.
He's breathing.
Wright is suing the Rcmp and Heidemann, alleging the takedown started a slow bleed in his brain. And now his lawyer has added new allegations that Heidemann was involved with steroids.
If this fellow was taking steroids, did that make him more aggressive?
Hey guys, this is Daoud, and today we're going to be talking about affordability challenges across major cities in Canada. Let's get started.
27-year-old Daoud Sakari posted this video on his Instagram page. His photo also appears on the EXP Realty website out of Ottawa. And in May, he appeared on a YouTube show talking about his career.
So I decided to get into real estate because, I feel like I could do well in it, and also I understand it.
But it's Sakari's previous job as a probationary Rcmp constable with the Surrey Rcmp that has put him in a different spotlight. On Friday, Rcmp officials announced Sakari has been charged with 13 offences. They include distributing cannabis, trafficking a controlled substance, breach of trust, conspiracy to commit robbery, and theft over $5,000.
Good morning.
The Rcmp say the complex anti-corruption investigation began in 2020 when Sakari was still a rookie.
Hey guys, this is Daoud, and today we're going to be talking about affordability challenges across major cities in Canada. Let's get started.
27-year-old Daoud Sakari posted this video on his Instagram page. His photo also appears on the EXP Realty website out of Ottawa. And in May, he appeared on a YouTube show talking about his career.
So I decided to get into real estate because, I feel like I could do well in it, and also I understand it.
But it's Sakari's previous job as a probationary Rcmp constable with the Surrey Rcmp that has put him in a different spotlight. On Friday, Rcmp officials announced Sakari has been charged with 13 offences. They include distributing cannabis, trafficking a controlled substance, breach of trust, conspiracy to commit robbery, and theft over $5,000.
Good morning.
The Rcmp say the complex anti-corruption investigation began in 2020 when Sakari was still a rookie.
There's no sound on the video, but Janesta Garson's lawyer says it speaks for itself. After detaining the 19-year-old on suspicion of public intoxication, 2 community safety officers and an Rcmp officer told her to remove a layer of clothing. Then this. She threw her belt, was punched unconscious, had an officer strip off her pants, had her limp body rolled over, and then was dragged down a corridor to a cell, where she was pushed some more, then left alone. Garson's lawyer says his client wouldn't have been treated this way if she wasn't Indigenous.
I was 5 and he was 6. We rode on horses made of sticks. He wore black and I